So, Natten. You have Torbsim, fine enough on defense. Moira, you're running Widowmaker. If you run high ground Widowmaker on first point, you have to be kind of cognizant that the only one who can really heal you is Brig with her armor pack. It takes too much effort for the Moira, and it takes her valuable resource to heal you, so it's really difficult for that to happen. Okay, to start something minor, you could be set up on the other side of security out here to see if you can get an opening pick. It's probably not that big of a deal, but your team seems to be set up there to try to get initial ult charge. Something you could be done. This position you are right now is good. You have nice long sight lines. You're relatively safe. You have a place to drop down to, and a mini to go down to here if you wanted to. Widow isn't run too often first points defense, I don't feel. Because the sightlines are like rather close. But you should be generally untouchable here unless someone goes on a long flank. Some nice looks.
There's the TP to high ground over here. You guys need to escape.
Alright. Communicative. Alright. So they have a Widow or a Hanzo. Let's keep that in mind. We're doing a good job like maintaining they have a Widow. We know that now. We know they have a we're doing this thing where we're limiting the amount of options people have to return fire on us, and we're really just focusing here. The crosshair placement is pretty important here. We have ours right here. This is about head level, so that's pretty good. The only concern that we have to worry about, since we're limiting the amount of angles that people can approach us from, is if the Widow either hooks like up here and shoots us from this area, can get a peek here when we're not properly lined up to pay attention to her, or comes security. And we have the Brig on security duty. So we're limiting the amount of options we get hit, which is always good. We drop, and we're going to take a very aggressive stance here. Now, I don't know if you heard, but they have a Hanzo. Hanzo Widowmaker. Their Widow right now is somewhere back here, maybe high ground. Probably not high ground, though. Somewhere back here, looking straight in. So she should be able to see or hear you hook up here, and can get a quick pick if you're not careful.
Widow,
oh, there she is. Okay. Why was she there? Did you know she was there? I guess you did see her hook up, and then you decided to challenge her.
Widow,
okay. Nice pick. Getting some Diana's dueling us. You just take our time, we can finish that. Not doing too much from this angle. You saw the Widow, I did not. Right. So right now we're down our Brig, they should be looking to push in soon. We might have to fall back. We can't afford to die here, and their Widow and Hanzo are both going to be looking at us. Okay, so we traded Rhine for ourselves in this situation. That can be rough, especially if they can res. Don't seem to be able to. Okay, let's talk about Infrasight here for a second. So we're up against an enemy Widowmaker. As a defending Widowmaker, you have, like, it can be rough playing defending Widowmaker, because as soon as you lose one duel, their Widowmaker has all the room in the world to just win the point. So defending Widowmaker needs not only to not die, but to continually get picks. While an attacking Widowmaker only has to get a pick or two on one push to really solidify the push. So to that end, in order to prevent her from getting picks with like asymmetrical information, we are generally looking to save Infrasight for her Infrasight and countering it. We're not really looking to use this as like an offensive tool. There's some situations where you might want to do it. Probably don't hook up here because it doesn't really do anything. Are you in voice chat? I don't think you are. I haven't heard anyone talk yet. Just because no one's in voice chat doesn't mean you can't be doing callouts at the very least. There she is again. Nice shot. Hitting this Mercy who's jumping around doesn't seem like a great plan. This Ana here could very easily be pressured by us. Like you see her right here, we could help the Torb shoot her first, and then we could follow up on the rest of them. So we're gonna waste the kind of time over here. So now our DPS is split. The Ana has made it all the way over here, from like back here with the Torb chasing her, kind of because the DPS aren't focusing the same target. That's something you could work on. You also have to worry about at about this point, their Widowmaker is coming back from spawn. So we get one pick on here. We fail to track properly because it's really hard to hit that shot. And we're just kind of, we've lost our position falling down, and now we don't really have anything to do.
Having some healers don't die.
And we're dead. Okay. We get a couple nice opening picks there. But we fail to actually turn the point. Okay. So they have a Winston now. And a Reinhardt, was that? We are still on Simtorb, at least for the moment, I believe, and we are running an Orisa on second point. You're going to have some issues running Widowmaker, because they're going to have the high ground control with their composition. To that end, playing close can be rough, because if they jump you, you're forced to fall down, and they can follow, essentially. But if you play back here, or back of jail, or some really, really long sight line, they won't be able to effectively get on top of you, so you can play a bit more safe. Good crosshair placement there. Should just not be shooting the shield. Alright, they used walls, so we should be using walls to counter it. There we go. A little delayed. How did she get that? What happened here? Did we stand up or something? Was it just the difference in peeking? So right now, our head is probably peeking very, very, very slightly over this. Yeah. Yeah, our head is definitely peeking a little bit over this. This is kind of the problem with peeking. For Widowmaker duels, there's an issue where, like, the closer you are to the corner that separates you, the harder it is for you to win the duel, because you do not get to see them first. So right now, even if your head isn't peeking up, and neither of you have sights, she might be able to see your name bar over your head right now. So she's able to track your movements while you're kind of at a loss on hers. And your head will show up first before you get to see hers, just simply due to angles. So this is rough. Another Widowmaker has all the time in the world and gets 3 picks. Team did a good job stalling the payload despite losing it. Alright, we're hooking up here now. I think they still have a Winston and they have a Hanzo, and they have a Widowmaker who should be looking to take the high ground right now while your entire team is dead. You can't really hook up here if they have any knowledge of you up here. They just kind of come and kill you. There's the Widow, there's the Winston, and even if the Widow doesn't hit that shot, we're up there for 4 seconds without hook, and they're gonna just kill us. So that's not like a great hook. You can understand why. We just don't have the map pressure, and we're trying to demand space from a team that can easily contest it. While we have 2 or 3 in spawn. We react late to the audio cue there, and she hits a nice shot. Our team should really just not be out here either, right now. They're making the same mistake as you. We all need to regroup and then retake the space. But we're not doing that right now. So we stagger ourselves further. Arissa staggers ourselves further, and that's kind of our fault for not being there. And her fault for going out without us there.
Oh no.
We're taking way too long to, like, we could have influenced that. Like, yeah, you have to look for the enemy Widowmaker. But you can also, like, avoid her sightlines and find value elsewhere. I mean, like, I see you trying to shoot her, who's, I assume this is her way back here, but, like, you have both the supports in your sightline. And, we like, look how close that is to you actually killing her, right? You can just kill that. Instead, we don't fire at either support because we're just tunneled on the enemy Widow. Now we finally decide to fire. We reveal our position by shooting the Reinhardt, who doesn't care. We almost hit him, but the fight's already over. We decided not to be a part of it. Would we have been able to turn that fight? Maybe, probably not, considering how many ults they had, but alright. So we're in bad spawn. And they're gonna push up and kill everyone. We have 2 options. We can either hide back here and hope they don't notice, and then come for like a flanking shot, try to get a couple picks when they initiate the fight. We could immediately go out the right side and hope to get out. Those are really our only 2 options. Going up here solo while everyone is dying is just gonna sort of feed. Okay, we're just gonna stay here and stagger ourselves further. Okay. They know we're here. We are effectively trapped here. There he is. Mess up our hook, and he gets us for free. And he gets a nice, like, 300 health of ult charge to his healers. So that's not great. We needed to make a cleaner decision to not be there, because our team wasn't able to support us being caught. So now our team is continually staggered. Alright. So, if you're the enemy Widowmaker, you're basically one of 2 places, and you need to be already kind of looking for them. As enemy Widowmaker with this sort of map control, knowing that you are spawning as Widowmaker, I probably at this elo, like 10-20% of the time, am camping here to spawn camp you. It's if I'm feeling cheeky and I feel like the team doesn't need any more help pushing. The spawn camp is real, it's something you should watch for. Could be here, is unlikely to be here because your team has position, but could be very well up here. The other place is directly down on the other side of the boxes, which is where you are kind of checking. You're checking the Rhine, but what I'm talking about is like right here is where she'd be. There she is. Like, you could be calling, we got the Ana no nade. That was a nice shot. Where'd that from? There she is. That was fast. Yeah, I thought she was over here too, but there she is. What the fuck? How'd she get over there? Oh, there she is right there too. So this like defend waypoint thing is actually messing with your sight line of her. So you can turn this down in your settings so it's translucent if you want. But here it looks like she fired a shot across. Alright. And there she is in one couple frames actually moving across. So I see why you thought she was right side. I thought she was right side until she killed you. But because of the clutter here of the UI, you miss it. And then she gets to just line up a shot. Team seems to be doing well without you though. For the moment. No longer.
Here I am.
Messed up our hook a couple times. Not a big deal. Alright. So our first immediate thing is to look here on the corner. Which is not quite right. Remember that it could be along here. It's the real tragedy. We're not really clearing up here. Our team is playing well out of our sight line right now, and it seems to be losing it. I'm cynical enough to say this is lost and just kind of wait and spawn and just don't stagger further till they're done. Another option would be to push up this way to get a better angle. Like right beyond the mini here, I think should be able to see into the space setting. And the opacity there is really messing with you. Yeah, everyone is committing ultimates and you're not in the fight. You're actually stunned yourself. It's good crosshair placement. Firing at that guy who doesn't actually care. Good angle. Now they have double shield. He peeked it. We have no reaction to the Winston. We used hook very aggressively when we're down people. This should actually get us killed. So we're not in a position to contest their Widow anymore. We're also kind of in the middle of both of their tanks. Like, who are we looking to shoot from this angle? The only one who we can hit both their tanks, sure. But then we're going to actually walk in front of where their Widowmaker would be, which is kind of dangerous. Their Winston is now on us. And we're coming across just to like SMG. We're not getting good value here. And the only reason why this walk across is even safe is because the sim happens to use her ultimate. But we're going to die because of that hook. Or we get healed. It's fine. Okay, get the Widow. But we didn't really do anything in that fight. The sim basically carried that fight.
Am I supposed to be in place?
Gotta pick on the
Hey,
Hanzo.
come back to this corner. Turret's really good here.
So your sim made a call. She wants to fight along this corner because the turrets are really good there. That's fine. If you're looking to support that, which the rest of your team seems to be doing, creeping back up here would be fine. You can grab health packs along the way so you're not sitting at half charge body shot killing you.
Versus fucking Winston.
So we're not really doing anything right now.
Just a fight on the point.
You can see it here that we're like predictively aiming instead of like flicking. So yeah, if our flicks are faster. See how we actually like track him instead of flick him? I'll show it to you. Shoot the Doomfist. Ryan begins his charge. And then we take time to like line up the shot here. Down, down, down. And we way over track. If instead that's just a flick, a quick reposition, we don't have that problem. Widow and McCree, you don't want to track generally.
Still, I don't know.
We haven't pressed tab in a little bit. You don't know who they dropped for the Doomfist. Turns out it's the Widow. We didn't know that. We're free to use our ultimate. You can't come in here. Tracking needs work. You need to carry this fight. Okay, good aggressive hook. Miss it, miss it. Focus on us. So one of the things you can do so you're not continually looking for a Widowmaker they don't have is in between fights just press tab, keep track of your ultimates, keep track of enemy ultimates.
The bad comp for that end.
But you held them to 38 seconds left, so it's not a bad thing. Not terrible. We're on McCree. Okay. No, Hanzo? So, Hanzo is technically a sniper, but he's not very good, actually, at long range. It's hard to hit with, it's kind of like luck to lead them with the projectile, depending on how they can react. Hanzo's very good first point, because he can control high ground, if he can get people off of it. But, like, your ability, like, you're kind of just wasting your time trying to shoot the Widow. If you were Widow, you could take this fight pretty easily. You could hook off the tree, hook up here, knowing that she's up here, find the angle. You could sit main under your shield, find the angle. But as Hanzo, it's much harder for you to actually contest from this range. Your better chance, in my opinion, would be to pressure them off the high ground that sits here. Bunch of shield pressure is what Hanzo contributes, and then a bunch of damage to the front line. Do that first, foremost, take control of that high ground, start shooting them down, and then you can start peek shotting the Widow from like climbing the wall on top of it, shooting her with charge shots, being annoying.
Right here, I'm gonna put turrets up.
I absolutely would have used Storm Arrow on that to kill her.
See it put
If you get a shot confirmed, just immediately press E to essentially like reset your reload animation. So like, if you press E, you can immediately shoot again. You would have gotten her. You get the Mercy, immediate E. You get her again.
They're low. Come on.
Oh, that was close. Nice 2 peek shots. You're not getting healed. E kills that. Just don't use Storm Arrow. There we go. Missed a few, but at least we used it.
Dumbest thing I've ever fucking seen in my entire life.
We need to back up. Yep.
Yeah, we got the steamroll.
Yeah, they got a group.
Far enters our space and we don't care. We could be using Sonic here to actually see up there. Ooh. How's this fire continually getting the drop on us and we don't notice? I hear her on our right. Given this quality, we do use Storm Arrow. We play it like a hit scan, which at this is not. This ult is bad. We're already down 3. They're pushing through here. We're not actually doing anything with this ultimate.
You guys are the worst, seriously. You're all playing damage and you're not doing any damage.
Dude, I just killed like 3 people with turrets. Let's go.
Really? Because the kill feed says the Hanzo killed him.
Alright, well, who do you think schooled them down so that Hanzo could shoot them?
Oh my god.
Wasn't right.
I mean, if it wasn't the Mercy, I really don't care because he just got rezzed.
Nice.
You can fight him. Okay, you want like actual charge on your shots though.
You only have one healer as it is, so when you trickle, you're really fucking yourself.
Okay.
See through the dragon's eyes.
So we're not really commanding space here as DPS, which is kind of the problem. There we go. Got a couple nice shots off.
You're gonna go, you gotta go now.
Storm Arrow solves this problem. We can hit the shot. We're not really flicking, we're kind of like tracking. There we go.
Imagine a Hanzo that would hit the Ferret.
Right. We probably could have built another ultimate. But we don't need to do anything.
See through the dragon's eyes.
Alright, what are they running now? Do we know? Doesn't seem like we know. They could have very well be swapping the Rhine, which means this aggressive play can get us killed with solo healer. Especially in 90 health. We have it checked. We completely ignored the fire that we saw. We saw her up there, just there. We see her right there. There she is. Saw the rocket there, we're just ignoring it at 90 health. Can't do that. It's disrespectful. Now we press tab and we see they have a Doomfist instead of a Hanzo. Okay.
I must reclaim my honor.
Not communicating with team and that we have ults and we're looking to separate. So our goal with our ultimate right now should be to separate the Rein from his team and then bully the Reinhardt in some fashion, or just kill him outright. We need to use Storm Arrow, like, basically on cooldown. It's almost a good ultimate. Ooh, we missed that shot. I hear people on our left fighting. Storm Arrow is still on, not being used. There we go. Okay. So we finally use Storm Arrow here, but I want you to notice how we're deciding to use it. We're kind of using it as like an automatic weapon. We're just going to hold mouse 1 without aiming each individual shot. And they're going to go where they go. And we just kind of like swipe along where we want them to go and just hope they release at the right time. There's no, that you should treat them more like flicks. Each individual one is precious. You want to deliberately fire each. So there's one. We activate. First one just goes. Fire that one. Fire, fire, fire. And we just waste 3 or 4 of them into a wall here. Just because we keep holding mouse 1. We instead waited and used our leap to get around the wall. We still have 3 or 4, which translates to 200 plus damage on a target, just with body shots. It's 200 damage we decided we didn't want, essentially. Like, you really need to learn to flick these things and deliberately shoot them. Alright, our position now is fine. We can control high ground. We're just cleaning up people who are not dying on payload and staggering themselves further. But there is kind of a race to get to these people. So if he's just gonna hold a shield up like that, I kind of just want to storm arrow it down. Don't need to do anything. Like
Watch out.
the Doomfist next to you, we just kind of ignored.
On down.
So we don't really even need to be on the ground either. We could be on top of jail, we can be on top of Salon here. Instead we're just kind of like playing like a bad McCree. You know? Like if he's there, the fair, as soon as the fair goes down, I'm like, I have no opposition on high ground. I can take all of it away. If I'm playing over here, I get another position to like bully this Reinhardt. And he's forced to shield in the direction he's shielding now to both shield himself from Cart and myself, and so I will continually punish shield, and he'll be forced to retreat or make an engagement. And if he makes an engagement, I'm perfectly safe up here. On the other hand, if you climb this wall and sit way up here, he is forced to either shield you or the payload and engage, and you will be able to hit him regardless of his choice, essentially. Or he will be punished regardless of his choice. So, like, just sitting here isn't contributing that much. Especially if you're not using Storm Arrow to at least break his shield. So, like, it's nice you're pushing payload, it's nice you're with your team, but there are opportunities that Hanzo and the mobile snipers have that allow them to take, like, crossfire positions where they're still relatively safe thanks to their mobility, but able to oversee and command more of the battlefield. Because right now, you're only threatening this space, essentially, right? Meanwhile, I pull up. Oop. Stab banana? Something like that. Maps. Dorado, Blizzworld, Hollywood. This is Hollywood, right? Okay. So right now the payload is like here. I'm a car. Beep beep. And you're playing on the payload like here. If you're playing in your so right now there, you're only able to see these sight lines essentially. Right? If instead you are playing here, you suddenly see like these sight lines that you're commanding. Or if you're playing here, you can suddenly command like this whole thing. You know, there's so much more space for you to gain if you're playing elsewhere.
Watch out.
Kind of punishes you here when you kind of get caught between the Doomfist and the Reinhardt, and you don't use your climb to escape. Like right now, you can just, if you so chose, give me back my green. If you so chose, you could like, not leap backward, but you could walk backward and climb the jail wall and be completely safe from all of this. Instead we walk into him, we dodge away, and get punished. We're being grouped with our team basically on top of each other. Yikes.
Alright, regroup.
I am not deterred. See through the dragon's eyes.
No real reason for that. Teammate called regroup. We're kind of a little out in the open.
Wait for Farah and Winston.
Their Pharah is the worst thing for us to come across.
Please come back to Reinhardt. There's the Doomfist behind you.
We can still contest her from high ground, we just have to be really careful. It's probably worse for us to be on even
It's a
ground
really
with her.
good combo with Reinhardt and,
Ooh, we missed that shot. Pharah's in our upper right. Are we paying attention to it? There's the Doomfist. That ultimate is going to split them, but we're already kind of lost, so their tanks are free to walk into us. Or these two are free to walk into us, so splitting them doesn't really do anything. Got a shot? Storm arrow?
Dude,
Yeah, none of those shots are deliberate. Like, you're just automatic firing by the looks of it. We're not reacting to the Doomfist, who's actually our danger here. Like, the Ryan's not coming towards us. We're going to continue firing him, although the Doomfist is just stationary in the air, right? Like, we're finally now reacting to him, and we snap to a difficult location shit. And we're just waiting for our bow to be redrawn instead of just hitting E and blowing him up.
Dude, help me with the fucking ferret.
We're all dead, man.
I don't give a fuck. Like, learn how to play the game.
Wait, we're like gold tier. What do you want from us?
You've been the same character the whole entire thing. You can stay, you can add people. We're still getting our assholes beaten. Congrats, your turns do all your work.
There hasn't been a lot.
Oh, we actually cap here? Is that what happens? Nice flick. Who or what carries this fight if this video goes on longer? Okay. So right now I'm looking for who's going to carry the fight on the enemy team. Their Reinhardt's down, so Shadow's not going to do it. Barrage can do it, so I'm looking to kind of kill their Pharah if I can. They have a Reaper too. Okay, she's down. There's the Doomfist. So they're going to get another contest here with some number of tanks if they really, really want to, which might stall it out. We can Dragon Strike. We don't believe they're going to contest. We can push up for spawns. We really don't want to push beyond that gate though right yet. Okay, okay. So they were going to come out this door if they had any brightness to them. Pushing from this angle means we don't really see them that as well. If we had pushed from the other door, we might have had a better chance of catching them. Make no mistake, we want to be collecting these guys. I guess a random shot.
You guys are all pushed up so far, your only healer has to stay on the payload while you guys are all LOS.
Yeah, we're just not controlling our shots on that. We also don't really need to be, like, you can shoot Hog from the other side of payload. Getting close is fine here, I guess. But then we do the same for the Reinhardt here. Like, we're just walking at him. Like, we're just asking to get shattered here. You know? I want to see more Storm Arrow. Like, just Storm Arrow that. There you go. He doesn't have a shield now. Now hit him. We've had that Dragon Strike for a long while too. We gotta find a use for it. What we can do is just Dragon Strike this spawn up here. Or just this stairwell. Force them to approach and get free card distance. But we gotta find a use for this shit. Just hit their Reinhardt with it. What are we doing? Going on flank. Okay, we get a kill. Nice.
Oh no!
Those don't seem deliberate too much. We die. Okay.
We're doing it. Down it. Aw, dang. Nice try.
Like something a middle school teacher would say. Nice try. Get it next time. One entire time.
Alright, we went 25 and 5. Weapon accuracies, whatever. we definitely could have punished heavier with Storm Arrow and actually hit it deliberately. We don't have like we were basically the primary DPS of this team, right? I'm not sure who out damaged us, but like I feel like we could have carried this a bit with better positioning or hero selection. Like on attack, Hanzo was fine. But if they're gonna have Pharah, you can swap to Widowmaker and like really punish her, and that way your team completely controls the high ground space, and you have all the room in the world to work with. Hanzo's not bad, but like your accuracy and your Storm Arrow usage have to be on point. And we were just kind of using it as a fan the hammer where it just like automatically fires and we just try to have it on the right person the whole time. Each of those should be like deliberate, if I can show you. So rather than, as we go to Overwatch, and close Epic Pen, and like this. As we go to Overwatch, training, practice range. Yes, we have a new tank hero. I've been shown this like 3 times now. Thank you. Hanzo.
With every death.
So rather than
honor.
like
With
fire, just hold it down and hope to hit. Like you can delay the firing a little bit. And instead you can go like I want to hit him, right? Like we don't fire as fast, but at least like we have control over each individual shot. So instead of like, I want like concise flicks, just okay. Same with like I don't want to be tracking a target through its life and then decide to fire. I want to just flick up to him, hit him. Same with Storm Arrow. I just want to be firing that thing like almost on cooldown to gain value somewhere. Times I don't want to fire it on cooldown is if I'm expecting Winston to jump me and I needed to like protect myself.
Triple kill, quadruple kill, quintuple kill, sextuple kill.
But yeah, I just like I'm not very good with Hanzo in terms of aiming him, but like
Double kill.
I can hit stationary targets just fine.
Double kill.
See through the dragon's eyes.
The deliberate aiming of each arrow is important. It's not just like hold the button and hope it works out. So next time you play Hanzo, just try to deliberately aim each arrow and work on flicking rather than tracking targets, essentially. Okay? Hope that helped.